Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good night. Because as I look at the people that are on this call, we've got folks from all around the world. It's just insane, all over the place. So that's really cool stuff. And yes, I always like to know where you're from. So if you want, you can type in that chat area. I'm going to click, and it's probably going to downsize my screen for a second. But type in there where you're from. I see Joy out there. I see Daniel, who I talked to the other day, really cool guy. He's from Munich, Germany. Linda's down in Sarasota, Florida. We've got more people popping up. I've got somebody from Ethiopia, which is pretty cool. It's amazing, people from all over the world are getting into e-commerce, and I'm seeing some incredible success. I've got a few students now that I coach one-on-one. I didn't have that many spots, but I had a few spots, and I just wanted to help some people, and we're getting some incredible results. We started a new person yesterday. Dan, I think you're out there. I see Dan. Yeah, Lily's in North Carolina. And we're starting to put a whole lot more into the group, guys. I think it's really important. And then I thought about it, and I said, well, if we're putting a whole lot into the group, maybe I should teach you guys how to do groups, because that is a really cool way to get a lot of business, sell your products, have some fun. Dan says he's there. I see him. And here's the cool thing. It doesn't cost you any money. Certainly you can always, run ads to your group and all that today, but we're going to talk about groups today. So let me get that up on the screen where everybody can see that. And it should be popping up now. If you can see that, guys, just type in there that you can see my screen now. I have upsized it. And let's get on to the next slide here. This is, of course, Facebook groups and pages. Okay, so there's a difference in groups and pages, and I'm going to define what those are today. And I'm also going to talk about what you can do with them. And I'm joined by Jessica today. Jessica, can you say hi?
I can say hi. Good morning, everybody. So glad y'all are here with us today.
And Jessica's involved in groups too, and she has some that she works on, and they're a pretty cool thing, but I think we need to define everything about them first so you really know what to do with them. So what is a Facebook page? Okay. Well, originally Facebook said, hey, you guys have to have a page to advertise. So I know there's a lot of people on this call today that do ads, and it's required that you have a page. So Facebook said to everybody, hey, you got to have a page for your business. It's so important. People can interact with you. You can talk with your community. And so they made everybody get a page. Everybody got a page. Everybody started running likes to it, and it worked pretty well. People were actually interacting with their customers. They were getting sales. They were driving traffic. And all of a sudden, Facebook looked at it and said, whoa, wait a second. We told you guys to do this, but we're not making any money because you're interacting with all your customers on your page. And we don't make money when you do that. So we're going to stop that. And here's how we're going to stop it. We're still going to require you to have a page, but we're only going to show your posts to 1% of the people. 1%. Okay, so if you have 1,000 people that like your page, when you post something, 10 people are going to see it. That is insane. Okay, so you really couldn't reach your audience. So some people got smart, and they realized, well, if I can't communicate, I'm not getting anything out of it. So I've got this really limited interaction with my fan base. It's not doing me any good. And mostly these pages, by companies were posted, like offers. They were trying to sell people stuff. They were putting coupons up there and all that good stuff. And since only 1% of the people saw it, they really weren't making any money out of it. So let's talk about Facebook groups. What's the difference? Well, a group is more like, it's a community. It's a place for people to communicate and tell all their friends their common interest and express things, that they want to talk about. Excuse me a little bit. I'm still getting over a cold here. It's been a tough one. So they were a whole lot more useful. So why would you use a group? Well, the first reason is to build a community. This is a community of people who have the same likes and interests and desires. It's not really designed around a brand or anything like that. So you get to know your audience a whole lot better. You can interact with them. You can find out what they like and what they don't like. You know, if you just have, like I just showed, I think McDonald's up there. If you just have a page like that, it's like, people who are into McDonald's, okay? And I'm sure there are some people who are into it. But in your Facebook group, here's what you've got to do, guys. You actually have to provide real value, and I'm going to talk about what that is and the things you can put in there in a little later on in this presentation. But they are like-minded people who exchange ideas. Now, also, I forgot to tell you, if you have any comments or questions, Jessica is monitoring those. So, if you've got a Facebook page or a group and you've got some questions about it, go over to that area there where it says questions and just type in there, and we can respond right back to you and answer those questions for you. So I don't want you to miss out on this. This is a live call. This is Friday, the 26th in the USA. So, we're live here today. So if you really want real input on your pages, your groups, whatever, or any other thing that has to do with digital marketing and selling and e-commerce, stick that in that comment area there. That's your opportunity to get some free advice. So a Facebook group is not really based on a business. So I wouldn't have a Facebook group, that was Survivalcave Food. I would have a page for that because we sell survival food. But, we have another group that's Survival Prepper VIP. Okay, so those people are in there posting about, survival and prepping and all that good stuff. So that's more along the lines. It's a niche type thing. It's a passion thing. It's not a company thing. Okay, we don't want to have a Facebook group that is the name of your company. That's not what you're trying to do here. It also allows you to post offers, though. If you have, let's say you have 1,000 people or 500 or whatever you have, and I'm going to show you some huge groups in just a second and how they do stuff. But if you have this following of people and they like you and they like the information, every now and then you can put your offer in there. And you can say, hey, by the way, I know you guys like boats. Here's my boating magazine or whatever it is that you're selling. And you control the setup. So by design, there's certain things we can do, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but there's certain ways you can design your group so you mold it the way you want. Now, keep in mind, you are the boss of your group. If somebody says something bad about your company or somebody's bashing somebody else or they're irritating, you just ban them. Ban them from the group, get rid of them, kick them out. And it'll also show other people that you're serious about that. You're going to want to, when you set up your group, put all those rules in the about section. And what we do is we actually, for our group, put in there, what it's all about, what the rules are, that you've read all these rules. We ask them for their email address. And, I think, we haven't been allowing anybody unless they put in their email address, but we may change that just so, we can allow some more people in there and get some good interaction, and we'll see how that goes. Also, if you're not a member of our group, okay, it's the Art of E-Commerce Success. We changed it away from just the Digital Cash Academy because, we have people in there that, I privately coach that are not in DCA. I have people who have purchased Ecom Road who are in there. We have all types of different people. We have some experts on e-commerce in there. So, we wanted to better focus on what the group is all about, and it's basically e-commerce success. We want everybody to be successful. So the last thing you can do is you can build your list. I just talked about the email thing. When people join your group, they may be interested in whatever you have. So it helps you build your list too. So here's something funny. Email open rate is about 8 to 12%. Now, if you have a small list and you got 100 people, you may be getting 60 or 70% open rate. If you've got, 3 million people on your list, it may be 4 or 5%. But groups, here's the cool thing. If you let everybody know, and I'm letting you know now, if you're in our group, make sure you go up to the top and you turn on notifications, because all those people who have notifications turned on, 100% of the time will get a notification when you post in there or when anything's posted on there, depending on how they've got their notifications set up. And a notification will pop up on the top right of their Facebook screen, and I'll point to one when we get to it in just a second. And you see a little red thing with a circle and a number in it. It's hard to resist clicking on that. When somebody sends you a notification, you either got to click on it and get rid of it, or you got to click on it and see what it is. So now with a group, you're reaching 100% of the people who've accepted notifications in your group, whereas on your page, 1%. So that's a huge, huge increase. And they're free. That's a really cool thing. It doesn't cost you anything to set up a group. It's totally free outside of your time. So let's talk about the Facebook group settings first off. You're going to have your admin set up. Now, your admin are all your people who control this group. If you have somebody at admin level, they can do anything in that group, okay? So they can add people, they can subtract people, they can change settings. But you're also going to have moderators. So you can set up moderators where they can't change all those settings, but they can actually moderate in the group. Some groups are set up to where if somebody posts, it has to be approved by a moderator or admin. Now, our group is not set up that way. You know, anybody can post anything they want in there. If we have somebody breaking the rules, we just ban them. It's real simple. And then you actually have the user settings where, you know, you can set up what that user is allowed to do, and you're going to go into your settings to do that. I'm not going to, you know, go through all the settings and all that today. If you have questions on that, type them in the box there. We'll be happy to do that. Somebody's putting in here, do I have to own a business to set up a group? No, you don't. You can, you know, any individual who has a Facebook account can go in there and set up any group they want. Now, what I've seen, this is pretty cool actually. I've seen people who have a passion about something, you know, maybe it's, I don't know, collecting old bottles, whatever it is, and they start a group and everybody starts talking about it and they build a huge group. And then what they do is they go out and they actually monetize it. They start selling products that's about bottle collecting, or they start selling bottles. So that's something you can do. You know, even if you don't have a business, you can actually start a Facebook group. And if you get a passionate group of people, it's pretty easy to monetize it once you have it there. You can also change the post settings, which I just talked about, you know, if they get approved or not. And your approval settings can be by moderator, it can be by admin, or they can just do open posts in there. And then you can also put, you know, question settings in there. Like what I told you in the beginning is like we have several questions that, you know, the people who want to join the group actually have to answer before they can get into the group. And if they don't answer those, you know, we generally don't let them into the group. And you want to talk about your notification settings too with your group. Let them know that, you know, if they want to see stuff from this group, which we hope they do, that's why they joined it, they're going to need to set their notification settings so that they can actually get these actual notifications. Okay, so now what I want to do with you now is I want to look at some of these pages. Now, if you look at the top, on the very top there, you'll see a little red 2 there. That says that I have 2 notifications. That's your notification setting. To the left of that is my message setting. If I had any messages people were sending me, that would pop up there. And then to the left of that is the friend settings. Now, this is a group here of 101,000 people. And I actually joined this group. I got to get out of it because it's showing stuff I don't want to see, but it's babes, bikes, and tattoos. And if you were to join this group, that's exactly what they post. But they got 101,000 people in here. They're interested in seeing stuff like that. And what they'll do is they'll post a picture of 2 different girls. They'll say, which one do you like, 1 or 2? But then what they also do is they monetize this and they sell biker type stuff. So that's a pretty cool page and how they've gone about doing that. This next page here has got 44,000 members and it's all about crossbow hunting. Now that's pretty darn specific, right? It's not just about hunting. And it's not just about crossbows, it's crossbow hunting. So that's a very, very niche group of people. These people are going to be incredibly passionate about doing that particular thing. But what they've done is they've posted videos, they've, you know, posted articles, they posted all kinds of information that's all about crossbow hunting. And guess what they sell? They sell crossbows and they sell crossbow equipment and all kinds of different, you know, t-shirts and all kinds of different stuff you could get from them. All right, let's take our next one here. This is for people who like to drive in circles. Now, I'm kidding about that, but if you look at the top left, it's Circle Track Racing Chat. So these are people, you know, 20,000 people who enjoy looking at vehicles driving in circles, basically. That's what that is. But they're very passionate about it. So, you know, there's a market here for t-shirts. There's a market here for, you know, car stuff. There are all kinds of racing stuff. And I don't know anything about racing, but, you know, this is a pretty cool group. You know, and they've set that up. They've got all this community there. Dan is asking, does Facebook, can you answer that one? I can't see that whole question. If I click on it, my screen disappears.
Oh, if Facebook has a list of all the groups that are on Facebook.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they do. But I'll tell you something about that, Dan. What you do is you just go in your box at the top and you type in any subject. And then below that is going to pop up a list of what you're searching for. It's going to say pages, it's going to say groups, it's going to say whatever. So what you would want to do is click on the one that says groups, and then you would go over to the left and decide, do you want to search just your groups, all of Facebook groups? The bad thing about it that I don't like is that you cannot search by how many people are in the group. So you literally have to scroll and scroll and scroll and click show more, show more, show more. And that matter of fact, that's how I came up with these that you're looking at right now. But yeah, you can do that. So that's pretty easy to do. And it's a good research tool. You know, if you've got a product and you say, I don't know, I want to sell stuff to do with jet skis, and you can type in jet ski, and then you can click on groups at the top there, and you can see all the jet ski groups. And if you find that there's a lot of jet ski groups that have 100, 200, you know, maybe 1,000,000 people in that group, that would probably be a good niche. On the other hand, if you type in there a subject and you find very few groups and very few members, you know you're going down the wrong road. So that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. So yeah, so this one here, once again, you can see I've got notifications up here when I took this screenshot of 4 different people. Now, the other cool thing you want to do, and you know, we do this every now and then, is join other groups that are similar to yours. I will tell you, do not ever have more than 40 or 50 groups that you're a member of. And here's why. Most of these groups see that, and if they see that you're a member of, you know, 200 different groups, they figure you're going to come into their group and you're just going to spam things. So, you know, make sure that if you have interest, it's okay to join other groups. And what you want to do in these other groups too, which I didn't put in the slides, but what you want to do in these other groups is you want to have good information in there. In other words, you know, if I join a group that has to do with e-commerce, I should be in there answering questions about e-commerce and helping people out. I shouldn't go in there and say, come join my group. Because as soon as you do something like that, you're going to get banned from the group. You can't do that. You have to give good content to people. They're also wise to the fact that if you go into another group, if you say, hey, private message me and I'll give you some information. As soon as they see that, you know, if I saw it in my group, I would wonder too. They know that you're trying to steal people from the group. So you don't want to do that. If you want to message somebody, just message them. It's real simple, you know, and say, hey, this is what I've got. This is what I offer. But I would highly suggest that you actually give good content. You know, if you give a lot of good content, you know, I do a lot of coaching calls and give away free training. You know, people are going to say, hey, what else you got? You know, what else can we buy? You know, on a daily basis, we have people say, well, do you have a course on this? Or I want to learn this. And then we can direct them to some of our training. But, you know, the whole thing is you want to give before you take. That's really, really important. So let's look at one more of these. Now, this is a really cool one. This one here just teaches people how to do makeup. That's it. It's called Makeup Tutorial. It's pretty straightforward. And that's another thing. When you name your group, I forgot to put that in the slides also, make sure that people can read the name of the group and know exactly what it's about. You know, you don't want to put Big Bob's chat, you know, information, because they don't know what that means. That means nothing to them. You know, when I look at this group here, I'm like, Makeup Tutorial. I know exactly what it's all about. And of course, they've monetized this. Guess what they sell? Anyone want to put a guess in that chat box there what they sell? Pretty obvious, right? They sell makeup. And they give you free tutorials, and then they sell you the product that you're going to need for the tutorials. Pretty smart. And they got 29,000 people in that particular group. So the next one here, I love this next one because I'm into this, right? And a lot of people obviously are. This is Premium Barbecue, you know, tips and recipes. This is a really cool group because people who barbecue, man, there's some passionate people. I don't know if anybody on the chat today does that. Somebody's saying, oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly men. I mean, that's your demographics. There's some women into it too. But if you look at this group, they got 87,681 members. And guess what they do? They sell barbecue stuff. But the group itself is tips and recipes. They're not saying we sell barbecue stuff. And they have all kinds of great stuff in here, great recipes, videos. So, you know, that's all you really have to do is just figure that passion of whatever it is. This is a really neat one too. I like this one. This one here is Boat Owners United. And I love the little tagline is land sucks. Okay, so people who are into boats just are really into boats. There's 55,623 members here. And it's all about boating this and boating that. And you think, wow, this is a really cool group. But I went a little bit further on this one here. And I actually went to their webpage and look at this. Boat owners. Okay, so they've got T-shirts, they got hats, they got mugs, they got all kinds of stuff. They have a blog in here that they've monetized with pay-per-clicks. So you know they've tied in their web page to this, and you know they make no bones about the fact that they're selling products here. But you know on their group themselves, you know they may post some products every now and then, but they're you know they're sticking with boat owners. Okay, so let's get a little bit more detailed now. Don't use groups for your brand. Okay, what we want to use it for is the passion that is around that particular brand. Okay, whatever that passion is, that's what you want to do. So you need to really think about a topic that's going to be related to your audience and that they're going to be interested in discussing. So if I'm selling, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a subject off the top of my head. Let's just, I put a couple in here. If you sell women's summer clothing, okay, you're going to want to create a group of what to wear and you know what other women are wearing at the summertime. Okay, so that's going to be you know the subject matter. It's not going to be the product itself. Um, if you're a car salesman, okay, you sell car stuff, you may want to create a group that discuss new models, car news, and stuff like that. If you sell dog rescue jewelry, okay, you may want to create a group to discuss the different types of you know dog rescue, what's going on, how to train your rescue dog, and then of course you can offer them the jewelry. So you can't go at it direct. You know, you can't do a dog rescue jewelry group. That's not what you want to do. You want to go for the passion itself. All right. Now, I said this in the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. You have to provide great content. Okay. They're not going to join your group. They're not going to hang out there. They're not going to stick around if they didn't get to the group and have something interesting. You know, if they got there and there was nothing, then what's the point in being part of the group? So some of the things you can do pictures and videos, anything that's helpful. You can do funny stuff. I recommend the helpful, obviously, because I do teaching of e-commerce. But you know, anything that you think is going to get some interaction, don't do these silly posts like, "Do you think he looks good?" You know, yes or no. That's just it's a waste of time. It's not really helping people. And I know people do that all the time, and those things go what they call viral, but it's not going to help your group, and people aren't going to stay in your group if that's the kind of stuff you're putting in there. You can do polls and surveys. You can ask them something. You know, you can get information from them. They get value from the results. They can see other people's results in there. So that's a really cool thing you can do. You can put short content in there. Okay, so maybe 3 tricks to get more people to convert on your landing page, or 4 things to do to make your makeup look better. Whatever it is, you want to have those tips and tricks and secrets and things that people are going to get there and go, I left this page with more knowledge than I came with. And in the beginning, you're pretty much going to have to be the driving force. The goal overall is to provide value. That's how you're going to get new members. And in the beginning, those new members, like we have some great people who are interactive in our group, but in the beginning, we pretty much have to drive all that. We've got to give the good content. We got to show that we have something worthwhile where people are going to want to even be in that group, right? If they don't get anything out of it, they're not staying. That's a guarantee. Okay, so we're down to some questions and answers now. And you can just type whatever you want to type in that box there, and we're going to go through some of that. Somebody's saying, can you do this worldwide? Yeah, you can do it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to place any restrictions on it. As a matter of fact, I think it's cool if you do that. If you have people from all around the world that are interested in that, then that's cool stuff. What about design? That's anytime somebody starts getting into something on the internet, they get all hung up on design. If you notice some of those groups I showed you, they just had a picture and they said what they did. That's simple as that. Somebody said, "Can I just copy another group that's very pop?" No, you can't. You can get ideas from other groups, but you don't want to copy the exact name of other groups and that type of thing. But I think it's a great idea to go out and look out there at what's working. But better than that, sometimes it's better to look at what's not working. The groups that don't have hardly any members, go in there and see what they're doing wrong. Now, maybe they haven't posted in a year. That's another thing I want to mention. You have to post on a regular basis. And some people say, what's regular basis? Some of these groups will post information in there 6-7 times a day, which is crazy, but they do it. Now, do not post your offer in there 6 or 7 times a day. That's not doing anybody any good whatsoever, if you're posting stuff like that in there. And I want to be able to click on some of these questions here, which means my screen's going to downsize a little bit. Yes, somebody says your design will come over time, won't it? Yes, it will. And your group will grow over time, and it'll grow in different directions, based on the information that you're providing. Somebody says, do I have to come up with my own content? Can I use somebody else's? You can. It's not gonna, if this is content that they can just go out and search themselves, I don't think they're going to be that interactive with it. They need to come to your group because you've got something that nobody else does. So okay, they're saying, well, how do I come up with content? That's pretty easy, really. Ask yourself a question. Let's say you are in dog rescue. You can go out and go on Google and type in there, 5 ways to help your rescue dog, or 6 ways to rescue dogs, and then look at all the information on Google. It's really simple. Look at some of that information. You can rewrite that information, but you don't want to copy it. And you can rewrite that information and put it in your group. It's really, really simple to do content. Now, if you do not want to write your own content, that's okay too. All you have to do is go to TextBroker, TextBroker. And Jessica, if you would stick that URL in the, we're going to put that in the comments section. At TextBroker, what they will do is you can just, there's experts in every field there. There's just hundreds of thousands of them. And, for just a little bit of money, for about $18 or $20, you can get an 800 to 1200 word blog or, content written for you. All you got to do is give them an outline, and they'll go out, do the research. They'll write the article for you, whatever you want. Now, another easy way to do it is do a little research yourself. Take a sheet of paper, pull out your iPhone, right? And then just sit there and do a video of you talking about it. It's really that easy. Somebody says they're in a group about writing tips and tricks. That's awesome. Petria just said that, and that's a great idea. Just you can join some of these other groups, and it'll give you ideas. But once you've done that video, slap it up on your group. You instructing on something, and you can give your opinion on something. And I will tell you this: if you give an opinion, it should be a strong one. It shouldn't be, I don't know which way to go on this. It should be, it should have some people pissed off at you, and I'll put some posts every now and then, and, I have strong opinions on things, and people say, well, I don't agree with you because of this. I'm like, great. You don't have to agree with me, but this is why I feel this way. And if you get that exchange going back and forth on your post, obviously that's going to get more interest in people. So that's the next thing you can do. Somebody says that, okay, what about a script? You can write scripts. Some people do it, and that's all across the board. Some people write scripts. Some people do outlines. Jessica, I know you do videos. How do you come up with an idea for a video? What do you feel, really inspires you to do a video? What would you say?
Well, most recently, because I am in a lot of groups that are like, I'm in groups about things that I'm passionate about, which is mostly pets, dogs and cats. And and that's also what my group is about, is about dog training. So I follow along in these other groups, and I see what people are talking about. And most recently, I just did a video because I got really tired of seeing people comment the same thing on 50 different posts, because it was bothering me.
Could you share that with her, what that actually was? I hate to put her on the spot, but it's nice to know these things, right?
So, yeah, I'm in a bunch of different dog groups, and I keep seeing people asking questions about, my dog is doing this, and I don't like it. I don't want it. They're destroying the house. They're chewing up my baseboards, whatever it may be. But there are a lot of different questions that the end result is the dog is tearing something up in the house. And the number one response people put on all of these questions is, put your dog in a crate. And that just irks me to no end, because you're putting a Band-Aid on the situation. You're not correcting whatever is going on with your dog. You're just locking them away. So
So why would you say they're
Bothered
doing that?
me.
Why would a dog chew up furniture? Give them an example.
Well, it could be that, I mean, it depends on the dog. It depends on, if they're a puppy, if they're an adult. But overall, in general, you can never go wrong with exercising your dog more, making them use their brain, playing with them, and getting out all of that excess energy that they have in a healthy way by playing with them instead of just leaving them and saying, oh, you should be able to play with yourself, you should be able to play with your toys. They're going to take all that energy they have and they may express it in ways that you're not happy with. For example, chewing up your baseboard. So it bothered me. So that was it. I had that pain point that it was bothering me that all of these people's suggestions were to lock your dog in a crate. So I did a video in my group and I said, I'm tired of this. This is what you really need to be doing.
Now, also, guys, don't give out advice if you don't know something. Okay, make sure you research it. Jessica does dog training. Okay, and she has courses on dogs training. We'll give her a plug here. It's the Furry Family Coach. Okay, so the Furry Family Coach. So she can get a dog to do almost anything. I've watched her train dogs, and within an hour, a dog who was barking for 10 years quits barking. And it sits down and it's relaxed, and that's the kind of stuff she teaches. So make sure whatever you're doing is actually useful. Don't make stuff up. And another thing you want to do on these posts in your group is you want to do counterintuitive type things. So a post for that may be, is your dog chewing your furniture? It's probably your fault. And people go, well, what do you mean it's my fault? And they're going to be more likely to read your post. I did one yesterday, and it was how to get zero return on your investment. And it basically gets into why people screw up and why they're not getting ahead. But that first sentence, the first part of your video, the first whatever should have some kind of hook in there that's going to engage your users, and you should be taking a side. Okay, so Jessica decides she's going to take the side of the dog. Okay, so it's the owner's fault, which in most cases it normally is, because the owner just doesn't know what to do. Not that they're doing the wrong thing because they want to do the wrong thing. They just don't know what to do. Okay, somebody's saying that they have talent in a particular area. It has to do with running. Yes. So you could start a group on running, and it could be all kinds of tips and techniques, how to lower your half marathon time by 3 minutes in only 60 days. And you could write a post on that, what you need to do, and the food you need to eat, the sleep you need to get. And what's funny nowadays is people will say, well, I don't know how to do whatever. Guys, the knowledge of the world is there. Okay. Daniel's leaving us. Okay, Dan, great to have you there. He's over in Germany, so different hours there. So the knowledge of the world is there. Where is it at? It's at Google and it's at YouTube. Okay. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. If you want to know how to instruct somebody on something or do something, you just go to YouTube and type it in. I guarantee you it's there. Everything you want to know is there. Every recipe is there. Every language. I just went to Thailand. I wanted to learn to speak some Thai language, and I just went to YouTube, and there was some instruction on Thai. I never got good at it, but the point is, it was there and it was free. So anything you want to know is at your fingertips. Don't wait. Don't try to check with somebody else. Just go out there and get it. So let's see if we have any other questions. I'm going to kind of mop this up. It's Friday. And Jessica and I have a tradition. We try to keep this tradition going. The tradition is Friday lunch. I don't know if any of you follow us on this, but we get tons of comments and tons of likes. So we go to a different place every Friday for lunch. Sometimes we're at the same place, but pretty rarely. Fortunately, we're in San Diego, and there are like so many restaurants. But we're always looking for new ones. So if anybody knows great restaurants in San Diego, type in the comments. I want to know. So today I think we're headed for fish tacos. So that's the thing today. But sometimes we'll do, restaurants on the ocean front or whatever. So that's our thing. That's what we do after this coaching call every single Friday. That's our thing. I got a couple more questions I want to answer, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Somebody says, can they invite people to our group? Yes, you can. We have opened that up. We were very strict about that before. But, we want to reach as many people as possible and help them out with their e-commerce business. So if you're a member of our group, you can actually invite your friends, your family. and you can get them in the group. They still have 3 questions to answer, which are not difficult, obviously. If they want to be on our mailing list and get more free information, they can do that. You guys, if you're not on our mailing list, make sure you send me a PM with your email address, because every week now we're doing 2 pieces of content, and it may be videos I've done. It could be instructional stuff, and you'll get that free in your inbox, twice a week. We don't bombard you with buy this or, hire us for this. We don't do any of that. I think we maybe once a week we'll say, hey, we have this course or something like that, but there's a lot of great content there. Additionally, Jessica, if you are in our group, has put all of these coaching calls in the group itself. And how would they access that, Jessica?
So if you're in the group, on the right-hand side, there are resources. And under the resources, there's only one right now. There's a document where I have put the link to easily find the album that has all of the coaching calls. So it should be pretty easy to
Is it
find.
also in videos on there on the left-hand side?
It is. It's in the videos,
okay.
and there is an album called Coaching Calls. But if you're just really in a hurry, go to the resources on the right-hand side of the group page, and there's one document there. Open it up and click that link.
Now, how will they know what's in each one of these videos?
Each one of the videos has a title. What it's about.
Somebody's saying that's great. Can I just thumb through and look at the different subjects? Yes, you can. So that's all there for you. And can they fast forward if they like know a certain area, or do they have to watch the whole thing, or what happens?
No, you can fast forward.
Yep, yeah. You can fast forward through. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good thing there. All right, guys, I really appreciate everybody on the call today. If you need any help, you're welcome to PM me. And I will tell you, the PMing thing has gotten pretty busy, and at some point, I'm only going to be able to take PMs from clients. Right now, I'm able to do some extra ones. I can't answer everybody's questions, but I try to answer as many as possible. So if you want, and you want to get an answer fast, put it in the group there, and we will try to answer you as fast as we possibly can. We appreciate everybody's attendance today from all around the world. I won't name all these places, but oh my gosh, they're from everywhere. I really appreciate you showing up, and we will be here, next Friday, right?
Yeah.
Next Friday also. Also, if you get on our list, I just did an interview with ClickBank. If any of you guys know who ClickBank is, pretty large company. It's one of the world's largest online affiliate networks. They did an interview with me, and that's going to be published. So if you're on our list, you're going to get a copy of that. Some interesting stuff in that interview. I think you'd really like it. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next coaching call. Talk to you later.